We begin tonight tracking storms moving into central Indiana with the potential to become severe in some areas. Thanks for inviting us in at 6 o'clock. I'm Scott Swan. Anne Marie's over covering the Winter Olympics. Angela right now is here in the Weather Center with me, tracking the weather impact and the timing for the storms. Do we have warnings right now?
We do, and confirmed tornado warnings across the southwestern part of the state. Dangerous weather situations setting up across the southern half of the state. Your eyes immediately go to this complex of storms. I'm going to get there in just 1 second. I do want to highlight a severe thunderstorm warning for this cell just south of Cloverdale. This is tracking off to the east, most likely with some large hail and damaging winds with it. So heads up, Monrovia, western sections of Morgan County. That's where that storm is going next. Let's head south and west. Confirmed tornado warning just south of the town of Sullivan. You can see it here headed toward Jasonville and Linton. Now we've got confirmed tornado warnings into the western sections of Greene County. So where does this storm go next? If it continues on that east path, it'll be into Linton in the next few minutes. Jasonville at 6:07, Bloomfield at 6:23. So working its way across the central sections of Greene County, then into Clear Creek. And if it would hold together just before 7, it's into Bloomington. So we want you to stick with us if you are south of I-70 as we continue to track a couple of confirmed tornado warned storms coming out of Illinois now into the southwestern part of our state. There's the severe storm just south of Cloverdale headed northeast into northwestern Morgan County. Non-severe, but we've got some rain from Rockville up to Petersburg into Crawfordsville. Future Track 13 keeps these storms going over the next couple of hours. Don't go anywhere. We'll be keeping you updated on the latest watch and any new warnings.
All right, Angela, thanks so much. And we've got crews across central Indiana right now as this severe weather moves through. So let's begin tonight in Morgan County with Samantha Johnson. So Sam, what are you seeing there?
Well, Scott, we passed through Morgan County. We are in Bloomington now. So here in Monroe County, we're about 6 minutes west of 69, west of downtown Bloomington. And I got to tell you, it still feels calm out here right now. In fact, if you take a look over, this is Carts Farm Park. We still have a little bit of blue skies here in Bloomington. But then if you look to the southwest, this direction is where that storm in Sullivan County will be headed our way within the hour. And then as you continue to look west and north, that's when you'll notice a lot of these dark clouds. And we have watched these clouds pass right through Monroe County into Morgan County. And of course, we're expecting, like Angela mentioned, we could see more wind and rain pick up here within the hour. Now, I can tell you, since we've been in Bloomington, the wind has picked up just a little bit. The temperature has dropped. It feels cooler than it did when we got here. We've only been through a few sprinkles of rain, though, so not a ton to report yet in Monroe County. But we've been checking in with EMA officials throughout central Indiana today who say now is the time. Before this storm gets to your home, your neighborhood, this is the time to pack that go bag. Make sure you have a plan in place as well while we still have the time. So, Scott, we plan to stay here until that cell gets to Monroe County. We'll be sure to keep you updated if we have any news out of Bloomington.
All right, Samantha Johnson, thanks so much there in Monroe County. Appreciate that update. We'll get back to you a little bit later on. Let's continue our live team coverage now. Brandon Schaff joins us live. So, Brandon, tell us where you are and what you've learned.
Yeah, good evening, Scott. Downtown Indianapolis has quite a different look now in the early evening compared to earlier today when we were around downtown. It was warm, it was sunny. Now it's cool, it's gray. We're on the south end of downtown Indianapolis, not far away from Lucas Oil Stadium. I'll step out of the shot so we can paint the picture here a little bit of this area of town. There's a slight drizzle going on. We saw a lot of people obviously on their way home from work that are now dealing with this as a part of their commute. And of course, something to keep in mind, the roads getting very wet, puddles on the road, so you'll certainly want to be aware of that as you are driving home. I spoke earlier today with the Indiana Department of Homeland Security about ways to stay safe in this weather. They say that this is an early opportunity to think about how you receive those emergency alerts in the severe weather here. And these are some of the questions that the executive director says that you should be asking to plan ahead.
How do I receive those emergency alerts? And when I receive an alert, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go in my home? Where am I going to go if I'm in a car? If I'm in a mobile home, where can I get to one of those safe, sturdy structures that is not going to be as impacted by the severe weather?
And we're still seeing those shots here of downtown Indianapolis. Now, when seeking shelter from the storm, they say that the best place to be is at home in your basement. Now, if that's not an option, the lowest level of a building in the innermost sturdy room, usually a bathroom, is a good call. And of course, for people in mobile homes, you may need to find shelter somewhere else. And if you're driving, avoid overpasses and make sure that you go to a sturdy building. So certainly some helpful advice for everybody as they're trying to navigate how to stay safe in these storms. Reporting here in downtown Indianapolis, Brandon Sheff, 13 News.
All right, Brandon, thanks so much. And you can stay up to date with the latest weather conditions by going to our free streaming app. Our team of meteorologists are going to be providing updates throughout tonight. And you can also watch our live Doppler 13 radar on demand. So be sure that you've downloaded WTHR Plus on your TV. Well, tonight at 6, we've now confirmed the memorial and funeral details for fallen Beech Grove police officer Brian Elliott. The community is welcome to attend a visitation Sunday morning beginning at 7 at Beech Grove High School. The funeral takes place at 11 o'clock Monday morning at Beech Grove High. A procession will then follow to Crown Hill Cemetery after Monday's funeral. A shooting sends bullets flying through homes on the near northeast side of Indianapolis. All of this unfolding Tuesday night near 25th and Keystone. Tonight, our Ashton Hackman shows us the damage and the fear left behind.
These are 2 bullets. They both went straight through.
A garage pierced by bullets, a front window shattered by gunfire. Aftermath of a shooting on Temple Avenue. IMPD officers heard it too.
I'm at roll call and I'm hearing at least 10 shots from about south, maybe 2-5 in Keystone.
The woman, who asked us not to show her face, says teens had been breaking into cars in the neighborhood earlier that night. An IMPD report shows officers recovered a stolen handbag with a wallet inside and documented 4 vehicles. She thinks a neighbor chased the teens and fired off gunshots. Officers found nearly a dozen shell casings and a teenager who had been shot. She says she was just feet from the bullet's path.
Why is the front of my house shot up? And they said because they were shooting at each other.
And it wasn't just her. Take a look at her neighbor's house. The siding is riddled with bullets. She says this is the same way that teen took to get away from the gunfire.
There were 11 casings out here in front of my house.
Her camera didn't capture the action. After Tuesday's shooting, she's ordered additional ones. All of them will be motion activated.
We had nothing to do with it, but we are the after effect of somebody that's doing the wrong thing. I'm exhausted because I'm scared. Anytime I hear a noise, I hear gunfire, I'm afraid. Are they shooting at my house again? And it's scary.
A scary reality for neighbors on Temple Avenue. In Indianapolis, Ashton Hackman, 13 News.
IMPD did not say if anyone was arrested for that shooting. Right now, they're asking anyone who saw or knows anything about this case to please call IMPD or Crime Stoppers. You don't have to give your name. Still ahead on this Thursday night, a once bustling neighborhood on the near south side of Indianapolis has undergone major changes over the years. Tonight, we want you to meet the group hoping to keep its legacy alive for years to come. Angela?
Scott, severe storms rolling through central Indiana. I'll have the latest on the tornado watch and the latest warnings.
But first, Indiana makes a move in hopes of bringing the Chicago Bears here to the Hoosier State. What today's vote means for the push, that's next.